Whatever.
Today is drumroll.
Boom.
Another part of the biome. This is. I'm not even sure how to describe this quite yet, but this is more or less the parts of the ship that are actual ship, the ship interior, so to speak. But this is where, in this area, this is our trenches, like our ship trenches.
Okay.
And there's going to be two, both in the other ring, which we'll get more into later, I'm
Okay.
sure. Maybe not.
Maybe.
And then the Eden ring, and from there, that's where you get access more to the actual ship internals. It's in between each side. It's kind of where the ship works with and maintains all the robots that are walking around that keep the ship going, where the ship interacts with the environment. It's quite it's easy to walk across, but it's quite deep too. Lots of water down below, lots of hazards throughout, as always.
So I'm hearing this might not be one place you want to start off at. Maybe a little bit challenging to start off in this area.
A little challenging, but not too much.
Gotcha.
Not anything crazy. There's more hazardous areas than this for sure.
Okay, we heard it. So this one is not the most dangerous area you're probably going to see, but it definitely seems a little bit more dangerous than Eden, correct? The one that we saw prior.
Yeah, and this is kind of the bridge between Eden.
Gotcha.
It kind of breaks Eden in half. So there's a place where you have to cross through to get to the other side of Eden, and there's the low plains and then the higher plateaus.
Man, this looks awesome. I'm seeing a lot of hype in chat. It says it looks sick. Definitely a killer spot. Awesome. A lot of hype in the chat. I think people get really interested in biomes, and I think not Extinction, but Genesis was, having those very kind of distinct biomes and being able to travel between them. It was really eye-opening for me to have such contrasting biomes and being able to travel through them, and just seeing something like the lunar biome, looking at that and then crossing over to another biome like the swamp biome or something like that. It's just, I don't know, for me, having that variety in a map is pretty big, because if you think of a map like Ark, I mean, yes, we have biomes, but they all kind of fit together. Like, they all fit pretty closely together. And things like, Genesis, I mean, I felt like the biomes were very different from each other.
Well,
and that was kind of cool to me,
and
personally.
One of the things that we got to do with Genesis 1 and having just the separate areas, it meant that whenever you were in, say the bog area, only things that were in the bog area were loaded in your game. So you could get away with a whole lot more detail, a whole lot more variety, because you could have more foliage types in view, and we weren't worried about someone getting to the snowy side or that transitional area and having two environments worth of data just happen to sit there in their consoles or their PCs. And Ark being out for so long, memory is one of our biggest concerns for every launch now. It's always something that's a big factor, and Gen 1 got to be so pretty, and the environments are so diverse and so beautiful because we used the separate environments to their utmost. We took advantage of that, and we gave players the best environments we possibly could, which they are absolutely stunning. Gen 2 will be much more open. Everything's connected, so we won't get away with as diverse of environments, but that doesn't mean that with our artists and their talents, they're not still knocking it out of the park. As you can see in the trailers, there's a lot of diversity there, but still looks amazing.
Gen 1 biomes were stellar. I hope we see more of that beauty in 2. I agree. The Gen 1 biomes were definitely eye-opening. Definitely. There was a lot. I know, man, I mean, we can't really get into it, but the tech that went behind that to actually pull that off, man, it's not easy to pull that off, being able to go between those biomes. And like Zane was saying, being able to keep the memory low so that you guys get a smooth playing experience. There's a lot of technology that went into that biome swap and walking into the biome and how everything just kind of like, there's a lot of work that went into that, and it's very cool to see that hard work being appreciated by you guys. I know you guys loved what you were seeing. A lot of you did. I mean, some of you had some things that you would like to see different in Gen, and hopefully we're hitting on some of those things in Gen 2. Hopefully some of the things that you saw that you didn't necessarily care for in Gen 1, we're going to be looking at in Gen 2 because we took your feedback heavily when we went into the design process for this one. So hopefully you get to see some of that stuff in play in Gen 2, some of the things that you wanted to see in Gen 1. But man, this biome is looking clean. I can't wait to see more, man. It's just amazing. Yeah, you can transition back, Luke.
Oh yeah, those are fun areas to go.